everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. So like I mentioned in my last video, I really wanted to talk about Stephanie Harris and Emma and Ryan and that whole storyline and how profoundly disturbing and problematic I find Stephanie to be. And how I kind of wish, after everything that happened, after everything we saw, I kind of wish that they just didn't air this storyline. I know that Stephanie is an incredibly messy person. It's easy to laugh at her because she behaves very erratically. We don't know if there's substance abuse issues or what, but clearly she is not well. When we saw her assault on the show and they didn't stop filming, I felt very uncomfortable even really talking about her or like making memes about her, because that just created such a dark cloud around the entire storyline. But ultimately, and if I don't say everything perfectly, or if I say something that you disagree with, please let me know, because this is incredibly nuanced. I by no means pretend to know everything. I'm just giving like my feelings and my just kind of interpretations. I really wanted to talk to you guys about it because I do think that it's an important conversation. So with that being said, if you find that I should clarify anything that I talk about, or that you would like to discuss anything further, send me a DM on Instagram, please, and let me know, and we will definitely continue the conversation. One of the things that I had said when everything came out with what happened with Ryan in Belize, one of the things that I had said on my Instagram channel, and it's absolutely something I believe to be true, is that you don't have to be a compassionate or likable or nice person to be the victim of a crime, right? Like, what he did, aside from Stephanie's behavior, was absolutely wrong. I thought it was wrong for the production to really not do much of anything to get her help, and then to film the fallout after, in my opinion, was pretty distasteful. With that being said, I think that production clearly did not like Stephanie. She was probably very difficult to film, probably along the same lines as Devin. With everything I just said about you don't have to be a likable person to be the victim of a crime, likewise, because you have been the victim of a crime in the past does not mean that you don't get called out on your extremely problematic behavior. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. So as you can see, my like extreme hesitation and just, yeah, I'm just like extremely hesitant to even talk about this because it's so nuanced, and I know that I'm not the right person to talk about this or the most like knowledgeable on the topic. I'm just giving my perception. So let's talk about really life after Ryan, or what we saw filming after Ryan left and enter Harris. So I really don't blame Stephanie for calling a familiar face after what happened. I don't think it's I don't think it's for anyone to say what is an appropriate trauma response. So in that regards, I was like, she called probably the only person that she knew and was familiar with. So, you know, to me, I was like, I'm not gonna like criticize her for just, you know, going straight from Ryan to Harris, right? To me, it was like, oh, she called a comforting person. With that being said, everything that happened subsequently after that, I found to be really gross behavior on her part. I will start out by making this statement. I find that there is not a whole lot different between her and Big Ed. I think that if the genders were reversed, oh man, we would be talking about this ad nauseum. Like I've said with Ed, I have no doubt that he's been the victim of some horrific bullying throughout his life. I think that has caused him to lean on humor to disarm people into trusting him, and that he actually uses that as like a predatory measure to lure women. So with that being said, I likewise think that Stephanie, who probably has, well, clearly been unlucky in love, flaunts her money over severely less financially stable partners in order to secure a power position. An example of this is that she literally had her friend who didn't need an employee hire Ryan, and she paid for his salary. She additionally sent money home and presents to his family that she absolutely threw in their face. And when she wasn't getting the communication or the gratitude that she thought that she deserved. So in that instance, that is not someone being caring and compassionate and concerned for the well-being of their partner's family. That is someone who is exerting dominance using money. Additionally, she shows classic manipulative behavior where she really grills Ryan, and we see this with Harris too. She really grills the two of them about their fidelity to her. With Ryan, she wants to know if he slept with anyone in the last 10 months since the last time she saw him. With Harris, it's the picture that he took with Emma while she was still engaged to Ryan, mind you. So she expects complete and utter transparency and fidelity, but she does not hold herself to the same standards. A la, she slept with Harris when her and Ryan had a fight. I think that's, even if Ryan, which I don't think he really cared very much that she slept with Harris, even if he doesn't care, it's still messed up, and it's still a huge double standard that she is holding these men to, that she is not herself holding herself to. Therefore, it's an unequal power dynamic that she's creating in the relationship. So when Harris comes to stay with her, Ryan had left a bunch of the gifts that she had brought for him behind. So she immediately goes into re-gift mode, which I just thought was, this is so blatantly obvious that you think that you're this white savior, that you are coming in and showering these people, these men, with gifts that they probably have not conceived of ever owning this many things, right? And they should be unendingly indebted to you, showering you with their fidelity, their loyalty, their just do whatever you want them to do. But here's the thing, you can't buy people, and the people that do, that's called trafficking. So this is like extremely problematic. Some more examples of this, of Stephanie just lavishing her wealth, which I know people have been speculating about how wealthy is she really. She's clearly more wealthy than Ryan or Harris. So another example is when she like commands Harris to plan her a surprise that she is obviously going to pay for, and she tells him that money is no object. Imagine if she said that to him so he could maybe plan a birthday party for one of his kids or something like that. That would actually be a much nicer gesture and a much more benevolent gesture. But this was, plan something for me. Incredibly bizarre. The other thing is she gives him $100 because it took him a long time to get from his hometown to this resort that they were staying at. So he was going to have to like take a bus and a boat, and it was going to be quite the journey for him to get back to to his home. So she gives him $100 for snack money. He has no words when she gives him this money. First off, he thinks it's not real money, which I heard one of the podcasts I listened to, they were like, you know what, $100 bills don't look like real money because, you know, they changed them around, and yeah, they don't. But he has a hard time accepting the fact that he is holding $100 because he said that he makes that in 2 weeks. So this is just like unfathomable to him, and she knows this. And while we might question her aptitude when we see that she tapes a picture of Harris to her smart fridge as opposed to just going into the app and changing the photo herself. She is a businesswoman, and according to anything we've seen, these are at least moderately successful businesses. I think we're underestimating her cunningness in all of this. Additionally, I don't really blame Emma or Harris in this situation. This is an opportunity to provide for their children. And while the methods are not the best, I can understand as a parent, the intention behind it is at any cost, how can I buy my kid a new pair of shoes or what have you. The only thing that's like a bummer in this situation, and what kind of like has me with Harris, is that he plans to come to the United States, but when are you planning to ever see your children again? Because obviously money isn't everything. Having a present parent is very is more important. However, we've seen a ton of people leave their homes to try to make a better future. We see Hazel. She's trying to establish a future where she can bring her son over. Didn't see that so much with Larissa, but she claims she's taking care of her children. So a lot of people have been talking about perhaps Stephanie is taking medication, or she's self-medicating with either alcohol or pills or whatever. You know, if that's the case, that's the case. But none of the things that I talked about are fueled by that. These are problematic behaviors that she displays when she's completely sober. So production obviously hated her. It was quite evident in the fact that they didn't even quit filming when she was clearly experiencing a very emotional moment. They kept going. They didn't really even seem to like try to get her help. She's not going to appear on the tell-all, and she is in the middle of taking legal action against the network, against Discovery, TLC, Matt Sharp, whoever. We saw this with Mark and Nikki of season 3 when he was not happy with his portrayal. He tried to sue them too, and he lost, big time loss. And he was another person that was hugely, I think it was like 40 years older than Nikki. Nikki was younger than some of his kids. And it was this same type of situation. And we think that Mark was gross. We think that Ed was gross. Even Tariq is kind of getting a pass, but because I think he actually does genuinely care about Hazel, but he's clearly a sex tourist. But my biggest perception is that Stephanie, I think, is getting away with behaviors that if she were a man would be like hugely called out. And a lot of people are talking about them, but I think there would be more ire and less making fun of her like goofy relationship with her cat, because Ed tries to have a goofy relationship with Teddy and nobody finds that funny. That's just my point. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say. And it is so hard to talk about seeing someone be victimized, but then also wanting to discuss their extremely problematic behavior that don't go hand in hand. So what happened to her was a separate incident than all of the behavior she displayed towards particularly Harris, because that's what we saw more of. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Reality Squad, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.